drink coffee, answer emails, and complain about meetings that should have been emails. And then there's being a football player, a profession where millions of people scream at you every weekend, where one bad touch can make you the most hated man in an entire country, and where your career can end because your knee decided to explode on a random Tuesday afternoon. From the outside, it looks like the dream: money, fame, stadiums, trophies. But behind the highlights and celebrations, being a football player is one of the most brutally unforgiving careers you can choose. Because the moment you step onto that pitch, everything changes, and the first problem starts before the match even begins. The pressure never stops. A football match lasts 90 minutes, but the pressure lasts 24 hours a day. From the moment a player signs his first professional contract, every decision becomes public property. Every performance is analyzed by millions of people who believe they could have done it better. Miss one chance and suddenly thousands of strangers online become tactical experts. Score an own goal and the entire stadium remembers your name for the wrong reason. Fans don't see the training sessions, the recovery work, or the hours spent studying opponents. They see 90 minutes, and if those 90 minutes go wrong, the verdict arrives instantly. Booing, headlines, social media storms. A defender mistimes one tackle and suddenly he's trending for all the wrong reasons. A striker misses an open goal and the clip gets replayed for years. There are no quiet mistakes in football. And the worst part is that this pressure never really disappears, because if the fans aren't judging you, your own teammates probably are. And if they aren't, the manager definitely is. Which leads to the next nightmare of being a football player, because sometimes the biggest threat to your career isn't the opponent, it's your own coach. Your manager can end your career. In most jobs, if your boss doesn't like you, you might get fewer meetings or a colder office atmosphere. In football, if your manager doesn't like you, you disappear. 1 week you're starting in front of 80,000 fans. The next week you're sitting on the bench watching someone else take your place. And once a coach decides you're not part of his plan, escaping that label is almost impossible. A tactical change can erase an entire position overnight. A new manager arrives with different ideas, and suddenly the player who was essential last season becomes unnecessary. It happens constantly. Players who were once stars suddenly find themselves training with the reserves, waiting for a transfer that might never come. Because football careers are short, and managers rarely wait. One bad run of form, one tactical mismatch, one disagreement in the dressing room, and suddenly the dream job starts to feel like a countdown clock. But even if the coach believes in you, football still has another brutal rule, because the sport doesn't just punish mistakes, it punishes time. Your career is ridiculously short. Most people start their careers in their 20s and continue working into their 60s. Football players are already worrying about retirement at 30. The average professional career lasts around 8 years. 8 years to reach the top, earn money, win trophies, and somehow prepare for the rest of your life afterward. 8 years where every season might be your last good one. Your body ages faster than your ambition. A slight drop in speed, a small loss of explosiveness, a tiny decline in recovery. Those details decide whether you remain a starter or slowly slide toward the bench. And football never really forgives aging. 1 season, you're the next big star. 3 seasons later, you're past your best. Players spend their entire youth trying to reach the elite level, only to discover they might only stay there for a few short years. And sometimes they don't even get those years. Because the most terrifying enemy in football isn't age, it's injury. Your body is basically a rental. Every footballer understands one brutal truth. Your body isn't guaranteed, it's borrowed. Every sprint, every tackle, every jump carries risk. And sometimes all it takes is one moment. A knee twisting the wrong way, a ligament tearing under pressure, a collision that turns a normal match into the last game of a career. History is filled with players who were supposed to dominate football for a decade, but vanished after a single injury. Some return weaker, some never return at all. Even the players who avoid catastrophic injuries still fight constant physical battles. Muscle strains, ankle problems, back pain, recovery sessions, ice baths, endless physiotherapy. While fans imagine footballers relaxing after matches, most players are spending hours repairing their bodies just to be ready for the next game. And that next game always arrives quickly, because modern football has another hidden torture built into it: the schedule. You are always playing. Football used to have breathing space, now it feels like a marathon with no finish line. League matches, domestic cups, European competitions, international tournaments, preseason tours on the other side of the planet. A player might start the season in August and still be playing high-intensity matches the following summer. The physical demands are relentless. 3 matches in 1 week, travel across continents, jet lag, training sessions squeezed between recovery days, and if you're unlucky enough to play for both club and country, the calendar becomes even more chaotic. Players land from international duty, train once, and immediately play another 90 minutes. Fatigue builds quietly until suddenly a sprint becomes slower, a reaction becomes late, or a muscle finally gives up. Fans complain when players look tired, but exhaustion is practically built into the modern game, and fatigue doesn't just affect performance, it makes everything else harder too, especially the one thing fans forget footballers also have: a normal life. Privacy does not exist. For most people, a bad day at work ends quietly. For football players, a bad day can become global news. Their lives are constantly under a microscope. Where they go, who they date, what they post online. Everything becomes a headline if it goes wrong. One photo from a nightclub after a defeat, and suddenly a player is accused of not caring about the club. One poorly worded social media post and the backlash can last for weeks. Even harmless moments become controversies. Footballers are expected to behave like role models every second of the day, which sounds reasonable, until you remember that many of them are barely 20 years old. Young players suddenly earn more money than they ever imagined while millions of people watch every decision they make. Some handle it perfectly, others struggle under the attention, because fame isn't just about admiration, it also attracts something darker: criticism, and sometimes that criticism turns into something far worse. Everyone thinks they know your job better than you. Football might be the only profession where millions of people confidently believe they could do your job. Fans argue about tactics in bars, online forums, and comment sections with the certainty of professional coaches. If a defender clears the ball long, someone says he should have passed. If he tries to pass and loses the ball, someone says he should have cleared it. Every decision becomes a debate. Every mistake becomes a meme. And unlike most professions, footballers can't hide their errors. A misplaced pass is broadcast to millions. A defensive mistake becomes a viral clip before the match even ends. Players learn to live with constant criticism from people who will never experience the same pressure themselves. But the harshest judgment sometimes comes from the place that should feel safest: the stadium. Because football fans can be wonderfully passionate and absolutely ruthless. One bad season can destroy everything. In football, reputation changes quickly. A player can spend years building a reputation as a star, but one bad season can erase it. Form disappears, confidence drops, suddenly the goals stop coming, the passes miss their targets, and the same fans who once sang your name start asking why you're still on the team. Football rarely offers patience. Clubs chase results, and results demand change. New signings arrive, young prospects emerge, managers try different options, and before a player realizes it, he's no longer essential. Some careers recover, others never truly bounce back. Because football has another cruel habit: it remembers your mistakes longer than your successes. And that leads to one final problem: the dream ends faster than you think. Every football player begins with the same dream: playing in packed stadiums, winning trophies, hearing thousands of fans celebrate a goal. But eventually, every career reaches the same moment: the final match, the final training session. The quiet realization that the thing you spent your entire life chasing is suddenly over. For many players, retirement arrives long before they expected it. 32, 34, sometimes earlier. While their friends in other professions are just hitting their prime, footballers are already wondering what comes next. Some become coaches, some become pundits, some disappear completely from the spotlight. And the transition isn't always easy, because for most of their lives, their identity was simple: they were football players. Then one day, they aren't anymore. And that might be the strangest part of the entire profession. From the outside, football looks like the perfect life. But behind the trophies, contracts, and celebrations lies a reality that is far more complicated. It's pressure, it's risk, it's uncertainty. And it's a career where the dream can vanish just as quickly as it appeared. Which is why the next time a player misses a shot, makes a mistake, or has a bad match, it might be worth remembering something. Playing football at the highest level looks easy, but living that life is anything but.